steal part of the book?
I did plagiarize,
Okay,
Mr. Hartfield.
that's stealing, isn't it?
And it is, and for
Okay.
that I'm very sorry, and I have apologized.
Okay. And that makes it okay?
What I did, and I apologized for that.
Now for what's trending in true crime. The clerk of court from Alec Murdaugh's homicide case is back in hot water this morning. Becky Hill is charged with over 70 ethics violations. 25 pages in the complaint accuse Becky Hill of giving herself bonuses, using county money to buy lunches for her and for others. The allegations don't stop there. They also include Hill allowing this photo of Alec Murdaugh in a holding cell to be taken to promote her book on the trial. Now, we want to be really clear here. Hill has not been criminally charged, but the case has been referred to the Attorney General's office in South Carolina. So perhaps she could be, or perhaps she will be. We don't know, but right now she is not. So let's be very clear, these are just ethics charges. So we want to ask our power panel this morning, before we get to the ethics hearing in December, could we see criminal charges come her way? We've got three great guests standing by this morning. I'm going to bring them in now. We've got law enforcement expert Sonny Slaughter, retired criminal defense attorney Kirk Nurmi, and former prosecutor and former SLED agent attorney Tommy Pope. Great to see you all. Tommy, of course, I want to begin with you, please. Being licensed to practice in South Carolina, working as an investigator there for so many years. What do you think about this? Do you think she's going to get hit with criminal charges soon?
I think there's a distinct possibility. We did, I'm in the legislature in South Carolina too, and I was actually on the committee that did the ethics reform. And one thing we wanted to happen is if there were potential for criminal charges, they would be referred to either the local prosecutor or the attorney general to make sure they kind of just didn't fall by the wayside. So I'm sure the attorney general's office is going to give a hard look at it. And Becky Hill just got swept up in the moment and she needed some good advice that she apparently didn't get.
All right, Tommy. I mean, even I remember Justice Jean Toll, when she made the determination that Hill's conduct was inappropriate, certainly at the trial, but did not in any way affect the verdict of the jurors. She made some comments to that end about how she sort of was enticed by the fame and all of it. She came on this show. In fact, we pulled a clip to look back at what she said to me talking about her book. Let's take a look together.
The Clerk of Court does a big job of being a liaison between the judge, the lawyers, the public, the documents that are in a trial. In a case of this magnitude, there's a lot of documents, there's a lot of paper. Just to be able to open our doors and have everything together for the trial that we were going to have, just a normal, any other day kind of trial, was huge. It was epic.
Yeah, it sure was, and she really inserted herself into all of it, and now what a mess. Sonny Slaughter, want to go to you next, please. Your thoughts on the possibility of this becoming a criminal case against this woman?
Good morning, Julie. Welcome back, and good morning to my amazing co-guests. I do believe that criminal charges are possible, more than possible, because there is theft regarding federal dollars, which is punishable. And I think that is what they really are going to look at, the Attorney General's office, and maybe even the federal government. I could see that an internal investigation from the federal government regarding funding is also possible in this particular case. Becky Hill just went out on a limb in some of the things that she was doing along with her colleagues. So the ethics investigation is one thing, but I think the criminal investigation is definitely possible.
Right. Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, she said so much on her book tour and got in all that trouble, and then she still had to say more when she wanted to announce her resignation. Let's take a look at that.
Managing a trial with such importance to the people of South Carolina, as well as of the national and international media, interest and public scrutiny, and has caused me to reflect upon decisions involving my stay in the office of the Clerk of Court. And so after much reflection, I have decided that it is best not to run again for re-election. I will now be able to focus on being a wife, a mother, and grandmother to my 2 grandboys, and will be spending time with the people who mean the most to me.
It's quite a statement. Clerk Nurmi, last but certainly not least, I want to get your thoughts on Becky Hill and what may be coming.
Well, certainly we can see, the idea that a clerk of court is holding this big press conference out there and people are listening is amazing in and of itself. But I think, Julie, one of the things that has been said this morning is the idea that, there was no misconduct, at least, that affected the Murdaugh trial. And I think that cues me in on Sonny's point related to the money. I think the money trail is really what's possible here when we talk about criminal charges, because that's going to be demonstrable, right? That's going to be something that doesn't change. Paper crimes, they don't go away. They're going to easily be proven to a jury. So while we have this ethics complaint and she's retired, she's not coming back again, I think some of the ethics issues probably aren't going to be as prominent, and her main concern should be the crimes that maybe she committed beforehand in terms of money, et cetera, because that's really going to be the clear-cut case against her, if there is one.
Right, Kurt. Great points from you all. And to be specific here, looking at the allegation from the complaint, the accusation is she's accused of stealing almost $20,000 from the Clerk of Court's office during her time there. And also going back to, what we've been saying, the conduct regarding the jury, we touched on Justice Jean Toll. We have a clip from that hearing back in January when Becky Hill testified, was questioned. She had this to say when she was asked about her comments regarding a dismissed juror from the Murdaugh case.
Examination in this courtroom, you said that she talked about a lot of things to you, but you didn't ask her any questions. But that's not completely accurate, is it?
Yes, ma'am, that is true.
Well, you asked her direct questions, and that came out in the hearing that Judge Newman had. You asked her questions before she was even examined by the judge, did you not?
Your Honor, I did not ask her any questions.
Okay, does Becky Hill sound believable to you? And what is that ethics hearing going to look like? Tommy Pope, we got to go to you on this question, please. So tell us, how's this going to go? Is this going to be like a little mini trial, kind of like a little mini hearing? What should we expect, please?
It will be, so they have attorneys with the Ethics Commission that would act as prosecutors per se, and then the ethics panel will hear the evidence, and then she'll have a defense, and so there'll be witnesses and cross-examination and documents like Kurt referred to, and they'll make a determination, and I think there's like 70-something counts, so it'll be a little bit of time going through each and every step.
Appreciate it. In her co-author, Neil Gordon, who I actually just saw at CrimeCon in Nashville over the week. I saw him very briefly when he stopped by our Court TV booth. He could potentially be a witness here called by these officials, as you said, Tommy. This could get really messy. Sonny, tell me, when you think about what could happen with the hearing, do you think it's going to be advantageous for Becky Hill to try to defend this as rigorously as she can?
I would think not. I think that she knows what she did, and it would be harmful to others for her to bring other people in, like Mr. Gordon and others, for her not to just completely confess, this is what I did. These are not related to any criminal charges, but I just don't think that she needs to drag this out. The people of South Carolina need to have some rest and assurance that Becky Hill and individuals like her won't be able to serve. The ethics process is in place. I think we should be assured and guaranteed that that will reveal enough evidence and we can move on from her.
Sonny, thank you for that. Great points. Clerk Nurmi, last question for you, please. Let's say that Becky Hill has hired a criminal defense attorney. She's got somebody on retainer. Let's just say, for the sake of our analysis, just in case criminal charges could pop up. Let's say that guy is you, Clerk Nurmi. How are you advising her between now and this ethics hearing come December?
I'm advising her to cut bait when it comes to the ethics hearing. I mean, she's retired. She's not going back to the clerk's office. She had the, she wants to be a grandmother, et cetera. I don't know what there is to be gained by really contesting those charges and possibly giving rise to new evidence regarding her financial crime. So I'm saying cut bait. We're going to focus on the criminal charges because that's what you really need to avoid. You don't want this license anyway. So why stir this pot, if you will, and try to make this go away as quietly as possible.
I really like what you're saying there, Kirk. You wonder if she did misuse any money. I'm not saying she did, but if she did, if there is restitution to be paid, back to Sonny's point, this being about money, $20,000 in question, if there is some money owed, you wonder if payment of restitution could settle that matter, put it to bed, like you said, Kirk, to prepare for what may be far worse. We'll leave it there for now, but always great insight from the three of you.